What's happening, everyone? Hope you are doing well. Welcome back to another client interview with a familiar face. I'm joined again by Mr. William Russell. William has been with us for over a year now, and I'm not sure if you guys remember, if you're watching this, William actually already done an interview with us in the past, where he pretty much went from 0 to 10K per month. And then, fast forward almost again a year later, he's hit another significant milestone. So, as promised, this is the part two. William actually kept his promise, so he wasn't too busy for me, which is fantastic. But yeah, William, obviously, I know who you are very well. We've spoken it for over a year now, but for the people watching this right now, maybe this is their first time, tuning in to your interview. They may not have seen the one that you've done in the past. Why don't you introduce who you are, who you serve, and the transformation you deliver to your clients, man?
Yeah, sure. So, hey everyone, my name is William Russell. I'm based in Tampa, Florida. I run a commercial solar marketing agency. We do lead generation for commercial solar companies. We basically help companies out there who are looking to do more commercial solar work, and they don't have enough meetings on the calendar. They're just relying on referrals. They don't really have a predictable way of growing their business scalably, if that's a word. So we come in, we book appointments directly to their calendar, save them a lot of time and a lot of hassle on just finding new people to do business with. So
Yeah, sweet. And William, why don't you give the people a breakdown of where you were before joining the program, revenue-wise, compared to 12 months later now, where you're at right now, man?
yeah, sure. So it's a big difference. We were
Very
I
big.
I had moved in, I quit my job January of 2024, so the beginning of last year. And I was like, all right, we're making like 1,500 a month right now. Or we hit 1,500. And then I was like, all right, well, this works. I'm just gonna have to figure it out to scale it up. And we hit like almost 4K and then dropped to zero. And I was like, I need some help. Like I need a program or something. I had some savings, thankfully, or like a little bit of savings. And I wasn't even planning on joining this, honestly. I watched like a YouTube video, one of Charlie's YouTube videos, and he at the end of the video was like, "Oh, we have a course, by the way." And I was like, why not? Like, just check it out. Like, who cares? And I just jumped on the call and met Jack, and Jack really sold me on it. I was like, "Damn, like
Shout out to Jack.
this is pretty incredible." And then I actually didn't close on the first call, but I watched the. He sent me the case studies after the first call, and I was still like a little nervous about jumping in, and I started watching the case studies, and then I kind of just stopped what I was doing. I stopped working that day and just watched like dozens of case studies, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I messaged Jack. I was like, "Let's hop back on a call, man." And it was a great decision for
Yeah,
sure.
love it, man. So where's the revenue at now, man, compared to you were at ground zero when you joined us?
Hmm.
12 months later, where's it at right now from a monthly standpoint?
So we just hit 40K on the dot last month.
There we go. Boom. So 0 to 40K in 12 months. Thank God for the testimonials, man. To to push
Yeah,
you
for
over the
sure.
finish line.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely love it, man. So yeah, William, talk to me. And obviously I'm familiar with your story, but obviously this is a good refresher on everything, right? Um,
Hmm.
what was the situation before joining the program? How did life look? And ultimately, what drove you to join the program? Because I know you touched on it briefly, where
Hmm.
you got to a point where you're making 4K a month on your own, which is very respectable, right? Because you're doing it without any sort of materials and whatnot. But then you drop back down and you were still having problems. So, long story short, man, talk to me. What drove you to make the leap with us?
I think it was probably it was a bunch of little things really. I just number one I think the number one thing is I just didn't know there's no roadmap if you don't buy a course
Yes.
or like a
Yep.
good course. There's not you don't learn this in school at all.
Yeah.
And unless you like have a best friend who's willing to sit down and talk to you all day, who also runs a business that you're trying to build, it's like you gotta do something if you want to. I mean, unless you want to do the slow and super painful way, which I knew, I was like, I could grow this thing very, very slowly if I did it without investing in anything. But I'd much rather, I mean, it's up to you. Like, you want to put some money down and get to where you want to be as quickly as possible. Um, you know. So I think an even bigger reason though is because it was like a big investment for me at the time, and I was like, I really thought about it, and I was like, man, it would be great to have this money in savings. Like it would give me more breathing room. But if I did put this money down, it's pretty much like burning the boats. It's like you have to succeed now, and it really it's scary, but you got to take risks. And I mean, it's just I just knew if I paid the investment and joined this, and like I was like, there's probably a pretty low chance I fail if I did this. You know, there's a much higher likelihood I fail if I don't do this. So.
Yeah, for sure, man. And it's funny because I was literally speaking about this with our sales manager Alex Branca and then head of product William Solway, who obviously you know from the program. We were
Mhm.
speaking about how it's dangerous to start getting passive. You start looking at your savings and it's nice and comfortable,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, I've got like 10K saved up. I don't want to spend 4K on a program or whatever. It's like, man,
Right.
you start thinking like that. It's dangerous without you realizing because you're just
Mhm.
settling for where you are. Like you
Right.
constantly have to be on aggression mode, even in a period of growth, right? Where I'm sure even where you're at right now, William, you're making 40K per month. I know your character. I know for a fact you're not going to take your foot off the gas, and you're probably looking where else can I dump my cash to
Mhm.
take it to the next level.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, amazing, man. What problems were you facing prior to the program, man? Like, what specific problems were you facing where, I know you mentioned 4K, then you dropped back down to zero. What were you struggling with? Like sales, offer? Just talk to me, man.
I mean, all of the above, but I think the number one thing, if I had to say, if I had to boil it down to one thing, I'd say I was way overcomplicating it
Mhm.
and overthinking almost everything. And the program, I mean, number one, obviously the mindset one too. I mean, I can go a whole tangent on that. That was my favorite part of the program. I would have paid the whole price of the program just for the mindset module, honestly. Looking back at it, but Charlie, one of a lot of just like the mental models that Charlie teaches, and his I mean, all of you guys like just hey, just take action. Like you can tell, like if someone's on a coaching call and they're overthinking it, you guys are just like overthinking
Yeah.
it, man. Like just do this, like, and I think that was probably the number one problem I was facing. I was just overthinking everything. But like as far as little thing, I mean, I was struggling with that almost everything. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. And what specifically about the mental models helped you like achieve the growth you've achieved? And I remember now in our first interview, everywhere you done, it wasn't even like the outbound systems or whatnot. It was purely the mindset side of
yeah.
things that,
Hmm.
got you to like the 10K per month mark, man. So talk to me a bit more about the mental paradigm shifts that you've had that's helped you get to this point.
There's so many,
Yeah.
but I just
The biggest ones.
the mental like just high level the mental models alone or just the mindset stuff alone, that was worth, like I said, the whole price of the program. And it's not even like it's helped me so much in this past year on building a business, but it's also like helped me in other areas of life. And I know it like the stuff I've learned in the past year is just it's stuff I'm going to use till the day I die. It's like it's really clever ways of looking at the world and thinking. I've never heard anything like it. Um, as far as my favorite ones, I think the inverting is one of my favorite ones. Like Charlie made a video or part of his video because that videos are so long, but like part of one of the videos was like just focus less on adding things and just focus on like what is preventing me from getting to where I'm trying to be, and just cut out everything that doesn't actually help you get to where you want.
Yeah. Super, super simple.
And then another huge one that I was very guilty of is if it's not broken, don't fix it. So if it's like if it's within KPI, don't say, all right, like how can we get this to a 7% book rate? It's like, no, you're good. It's a 3. Like just scale it up. Don't mess with it. That was a huge lesson. So yeah.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that one. I had a another client interview at Saxon yesterday, He was speaking about the same thing where it's like it's funny. So he has works, but technically it's out of KPI, but he's still converting a ton of clients, still getting a ton of
Hmm.
appointments. And it came back to the zooming out and going, man, why am I trying to fix something that's not even broken? Like
Yeah.
it's not in KPI, but it's giving me money, the
Right.
end result what I want. And sometimes it's crazy, man, because you know how it is, William. We preach data
Hmm.
more than anyone I can think of, at least from
Right.
programs I've been a part of. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you can obsess over it too much that you end up breaking
Hmm.
something that that doesn't
Right.
need to be fixed.
Well, at the end, the data is the most important piece is you want.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. In terms of, it's been a full 12 months, William. Talk to me about how you approached the program from day one to day 365 pretty much in terms of how you navigated it, what you set up, what outbound systems you got going. Just talk to me about how you approached it to get to where you are now.
You know, I'd say, well, the first month I was really heavily into the mindset module. And
Yep.
then over time, it's cool. Like the thing I like about EasyGrow is you don't like I wasn't like one I was very involved in it the first 3 months, but after the first 3 months, I kind of just came in when I needed something. Like there's so many different like if I just needed a new appointment booking system, I was like, hey, cold calling's working, but we need like some extra appointments coming in. Like, let's see what EasyGrow has going on. And it's like, oh, they got this like cool Loom system, like perfect. And here's all the instructions. Like, let's do it. Or let's have the VA like someone.
But I don't know if my mic is
Now I can still hear you, man. It's just switched. It's all good.
okay. Um, so yeah, I mean,
As far as
structure, I mean, it doesn't look that different.
from a fundamental level, it's just way more well structured for sure. But as far as like we still use
Still used cold calling.
um we added the LinkedIn system, which has been pretty cool. Still kind of
Nice.
testing it out and stuff like that, but it really doesn't look vastly different. And I think that's another big coming back to like the mental models. Another huge one was focus, and
Yeah.
that was something like because when before I joined EasyGrow, I was like like
Build like a funnel and go high level and do all this stuff.
I realized like I don't even need to use Go High Level at all. Like I don't need to have a funnel. Um, I just need to just keep doing what works basically, and that's what I've been doing over the past year. So.
Yeah, love it. So right now, in terms of acquiring clients, you're basically just leveraging cold calling, which is obviously king for you.
Mhm.
And then you've just recently set up the LinkedIn system, right?
Yeah, we have LinkedIn, rolling, cold call, and cold email.
Okay, sweet.
Mhm.
Amazing, man. Most of your appointments come from cold calling, I'm assuming.
Cold call, yeah.
Nice.
I just hired a cold caller, which he's been excellent so far. It's been awesome. I tried quite a few different hires, didn't work out at all, and finally found one that
That was nice for sure.
Love it, man. Love it. With how many appointments a day are you currently saying?
The thing is, we don't want to set like our market. It's our business is a little bit different.
our market's pretty small. Like our target market size is well under 10,000. So it's
Not trying to set 10 appointments a day. I know you can with EasyGrow system.
but we just need like a new client. I mean, honestly, like one new client a month is enough for us to grow. Right now, we're aiming for more than that, like one a week or one every.
Very least. Um,
But yeah, I mean, right now we have a goal. It's like set 5 appointments on my calendar a week, and I'll close one of them, and that's all we need. So it doesn't really, yeah. Like if we set 5 appointments a day, our business would just fail because we can't handle that many people.
Yeah, love it, man. And I love how you already broke down the numbers where it's like you give me five meetings, I'll just close one. Like you've boiled it
right,
down to a T pretty much.
right, for sure.
Yeah. William, talk to me about team, man, because I think from our first interview, and obviously we touched on it just before this, it was just you, and I think you mentioned a
Mhm.
team of another person, like a VA or
Yeah, we
something.
have. He helps build or he builds all the lists for us for the outreach list. So that was my main teammate at the time. He's
Okay.
still with us, but we have a bigger team now.
Nice, man. So that was a team or two. Talk to me about the team
Mhm.
you have now in terms of team size, roles, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So now it's pretty all like the early days were way just more of a grind. It's still like we're still like it's honestly gotten a lot more fun to run just because I hire people to do the jobs that are just preventing me from growing the business. So for example, when we first met, I was still managing the inbox. So every single positive
Oh
reply, I
yeah, I
would like
remember.
stop what I was doing
I remember.
and pull up the email and reply. And then if they booked in, like send the meeting notes to the clients. And it was just a mess. Now I have an inbox manager. He's amazing. His name's John. I have uh, 6 total team members, um, just handling different segments of the business. I have Hassan handling the campaigns, Halal handling the lists. I have Abdul handling finance and admin, and then I just hired Steven, who's been killing it on the phone. So that's really been huge, and it's made my life a lot more enjoyable because I get to focus on what's important and like actually pushes the business forward. So
Yeah, love it, man. So how many hours are you working right now? Now that you've got like the whole team set up.
I'm starting to see the benefits of it. Like I can work like less than 30 hours a week right now if I wanted to. I
Nice.
don't I don't do that because I want to keep I don't want to get complacent and I don't want to you know go backwards or just stay at the same place. But I could take trips now and like take a vacation and just not really like I took Monday off. We went to a basketball game in Orlando and I just told the team I was like I'm not going to be here today. Call me if you need anything. Didn't get one phone call, one text. I didn't check my email. It was just total peace of mind. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite part of the whole trip. I was like, dang, I didn't get one phone call. It was awesome.
Man, that's when you make that transition from it's almost like the solopreneur
Yeah,
hashtag, not hashtag dash, highly paid employee of your own
right,
job to now
right,
it's like, right, you've graduated into an actual CEO role where it's like you can
right.
take a day off, you can even take a vacation. As you
Yeah.
said, William, you could probably work 30 hours or less. You're choosing not to.
Hmm.
How does that feel, man? Just having that power where it's like, man, you've got a team under you and pretty much you can ultimately do as you please.
It's honestly, it's an amazing feeling because the first, I mean, this is pretty recent to the point where we've gotten here because we were still well, like I'd say like the first 8 months was just a total grind,
Hmm.
just getting through the mud, and then the last 4 months have been kind of we've been doing well revenue. It's just we had some kinks on like to you know unplug that were like how do we because we were still struggling to sign new clients predictably and we had revenue coming in monthly which was nice but I was still like I was really nervous because I was like if these clients drop off like I'm not predictably signing new ones now we just switched our offer like a month ago and now it's like a flood it's like we have clients signing up pretty consistently right now which is awesome so the added revenue with that, along with the peace of mind that hey, I know how to get new clients like
Yeah,
with this offer, has allowed me to number one hire the team out to just handle the role. Like I have the money to do that now, and then also just uh obviously lets me take trips or if I want to or the main thing that was just focusing on moving the business forward. Like it's honestly really fun to sit here and work. Like today I've just been working on like, hey, where are we going? um not like hey what who needs to like get the meeting reminder today and like just day-to-day stuff so
yeah,
but yeah it's an
love it, man.
amazing feeling overall for sure.
Yeah, music to my ears, man. Amazing. Um, in terms of coming back to the program, William, it's been 12 months. As you know, there's a lot of material in there, whether it's, different types of modules, from the mindset to the sales, acquisition, all that good stuff. And then you've also got the group support, the coaching calls, all that jazz. Is there anything in particular that you really love about how the program's laid out beyond the mindset stuff? Because I know that was like your biggest one.
Hmm. I just like the level of detail
Hmm.
and I feel like easy grow is just sorry let me turn off my
You're all good. There's another client.
yeah, I don't know who it is but I don't want to look So the extreme level of detail, like I've done a lot of programs. I've spent a lot of money on several programs over the past year, and not a lot of people go into to depth on everything. Like the videos in EasyGrow are super valuable because they go super in depth. They also have like SOPs for everything. There's templates and stuff you can use, and it's really just taught me how to like I learned how to create SOPs from EasyGrow, and I just do it the same way.
Nice.
Um, so like that's probably my favorite thing is just the simplicity of all of it. Like there's not like a complex like SOP software or anything like that. Charlie's just like, here's the video. The Google Doc below outlines it all and it does it in great detail. And because I've learned that from you guys, that's how I run my business now. So I have everything super detailed and I have a Google Doc with it, a simple Google Doc with the Loom videos and stuff like that. So my just the structure of it, I just really love because it's taught me how to structure my business too.
Yeah.
But the videos are my favorite for sure.
Yeah.
I like watching the videos.
Yeah. I love it. Outside of the mindset and obviously acquisition genesis, did you have a chance to go for any of the other modules, like the sales stuff, or like did you just go through the mindset ones?
I did mindset that but like by far the most. I did acquisition. I went through acquisition genesis one time,
Yep.
just like the first time, and I like referred back to it here and there if I needed to. The outbound systems, I would that was where I was just selective. So I would go through the cold email system,
Yep.
the LinkedIn one. We tried the Loom one. We just went back to the regular email. We just liked that one better.
Yeah.
And then the cold calling one was huge too because that was just like a because I was doing it, I knew it worked, but
Yep.
again, I was overthinking. I was like, all right, we need to like set up some like complex software and like have like a CRM that logs everything. And Charlie was like, no, just spreadsheet, just log your calls
Yeah.
right there, and then use. And I was like, all right. And so that's we used. So like I'd say we probably used about half of the outbound systems provided. Sales system, more the sales part. I learned more from the sales from the coaching calls.
Nice.
So those were the calls I would
Nice,
consistently
man.
join. Like you probably didn't see me join a lot of calls, but the sales one, when I was like really trying to get better at sales, I was on those every single day. So I think the
Yeah.
sales was the really valuable part of the sales part was the actual calls, the coaching
Yep.
calls for sure.
Love it. Let's touch on this coaching calls, specifically the sales calls in
Mhm.
particular, William, because most programs naturally you'll have course content in the form of video, and then you have group support, and then you may have a coaching call, but it's not skill specific. How
Mhm.
helpful were those sales calls where not only did you have, a module dedicated to sales and a group to ask questions in, how valuable were those calls where you got to go in and ask sales specific questions with, I think when you were doing it at the time, it was actually with Jack. So shout out to Jack.
Right.
How valuable was it to go on his call, get instant feedback on a on a call you just had, role play, all these getting feedback on scripts and whatnot, beyond just having a video alone?
I mean, if you don't have any feedback on your sale, like unless you, it's different if you come from a sales role and you have experience closing deals consistently, you start a business, maybe you already
Yeah,
know how to do it. But if if you haven't done that, sales is like a really it's a in-depth skill you have to learn. It's not a
yeah.
I don't like to say anything's like hard because then you start to believe that, but which is also something the program taught me. But um it's a lot to learn. Like
Yep.
you can't just get better at sales by watching videos. Like there's no I mean, at least in my experience, you need feedback. So I mean, I wouldn't even. I'm not even, like. I think more valuable than saying how it helped. It's just like I don't know how what I would have done if I didn't have the. Like I would have had to hire like a sales coach.
Yeah, yeah.
We're just lost a ton of money by just losing deal after deal after deal after deal. So
Yeah, and that's what we recognize where like, and you've seen this, William, where we've got coaching calls on just about every topic because we know for a fact that yeah, video content is great, and as detailed as we produce it, we know there's going to
mhm.
be additional coaching required
Right.
where you may have personalized questions specific to your niche. Like I know you're in solar, so you probably ask Jack, "Hey Jack, how do I deal with this avatar? They're a bit
Hmm.
older. do I, ask them about their motivations if they want another
Mhm.
Ferrari, or do I skip
Yeah.
that question? Just these small
Yeah.
nuances, right?
Well, the big thing too is the recordings. Like you bring your
Yeah.
call recording and say what went wrong here. If you don't have that, like you're just guessing. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that's it. That's invaluable. William, so
another thing too, real quick to mention just on the sales calls is it's another thing. Like sales is easy. Jack even told me this, and it's true. It's like if you can learn sales and like get good at it, but if you don't practice it, you're gonna quickly go back down. Especially if you're pretty new to it. So the sales calls, I just noticed, even if I didn't ask questions or didn't review anything, just being there on the calls,
yeah.
I would be way better at sales that week if I was like consistently joining the calls, just because you would remember things. They'd be like top of mind. That was another like helpful thing about it for sure.
Yeah, that's major. It's like you're just picking up on things subconsciously. Even though you're
Right,
not actively involved, you're still
right,
training your mind. So when you're actually on a sales call, it's fresh, even though you may
right.
not have had calls before.
Yeah. And one more thing on the calls too, overall, this isn't for the sales calls specifically. That's the calls I join the most by far, but when those early, like right now, it's not that hard. It wouldn't be that like it's not that hard for me to like stay motivated. But in those early days, when it's like it sucks and you're just alone, like in your room doing this, and you're not like seeing a lot of results, the calls just can be really inspiring. Like if I was ever in a rut and just hadn't been joining calls for like a few days, I just noticed when I joined a call, even if I didn't ask questions, just seeing other people in the call that are doing the same thing as you, and they're all like pumped up, like all doing the same thing, like all chasing the same dream. You get inspired and you leave the calls. You're like, all right, let's get back after it. And especially if you see someone who's like, yeah, I just closed like
Yeah.
20K last month, and you're like, damn, like I need to get there. So
Yeah, that's it. And that's a big one
mhm,
where, community is so important, where it's like
mhm,
you can feel so alone, where it's like you're just
mhm.
trapped in your four walls, where it's like, man,
Right,
nothing's working and all these things, and you start to feel sorry for yourself, and you think you're the only one with these issues, when actually
yeah,
you join some of the coaching calls, even the established guys are having problems, and
right,
you've also got people side by side with you, having the same issues as you do, and it's kind of like a relief for us, like, oh, I'm not alone. This is normal.
mhm,
I guess I gotta get to work. That's it.
right, for sure, for sure. The community is huge.
Yeah, it's massive, massive, man. Killer stuff. William, I know you love the mindset side of things. I remember it, obviously we touched on it here, and it was a big part of our first interview because that's you already knew how to set appointments. It was just the shift in mindset which really sent you to the moon. Talk to me now about how this version of you looks compared to that version of you. You remember this question from last time as well, compared to the version of you before joining the program. So this was the version where, like you said, you went all in. You moved back to your parents' place, stayed in the garage. You were cracking on and doing what needed to be done. What does that guy look like compared to the guy that I'm speaking to now? And you can even reference the guy you became to hit that first 10K month on the way as
Mhm.
well, and any changes you made between that guy and this guy.
That's a good question. And that's something else I learned from the program too. That was that was another big one. Uh, Focusing on like becoming the person who can achieve the goal rather than just focusing on the goal. That was huge. I mean, I just say a ton of little changes that have compounded significantly. If one big one that comes to mind is I'm a lot less sloppy. Like, and I'm a lot more cognizant of my time and a lot more productive of my time. When I first started, if someone texted me, called me, emailed me, I would drop everything I'm doing to respond to emails. I don't do any of that. I don't check my email till about lunch every day usually. I have uh I've kind of set up the whole business to where I don't need to be contacted unless like if I only am contacted, my day's only interrupted if it's super urgent. And I set up like a separate work phone, this crappy little Nokia thing.
I was gonna say,
Um,
where's that ringtone from?
yeah, yeah, that's exactly what it was. So a lot more cognizant of my time and my focus too. Um, there's so many little changes. It's hard to like think of all of them, but
No, no, you're all good, man. It seems like it's funny because it's like people listening to or watching this right now, they'd assume that, oh, but those changes are so small, but they
mm,
don't understand the significant impact it can have just by
right.
unlocking that level of focus, being
Hmm.
more, valuing your time more, and acting in alignment with who you need to be in order to get the money that you desire. And
Hmm.
like this is the case with you, William. Like you can correct me if I'm wrong. Long before you had this 40K month, you're probably already acting in alignment with who you needed to be long before you got the money.
For the 40, maybe a little bit. I think I stepped my game up
Yeah.
pretty recently, a little bit more. So yeah, I would say that, but it does follow who you become. I think another big thing too, I forgot to say is something that's I've changed a lot is you get less freaked out about things going wrong. Like the longer, because the longer you run and grow the business, the more you overcome like really scary challenges. And if things go wrong, like if things went wrong in the business like a year ago, I would freak out. I go, oh my God, like, are we gonna solve this? I don't really know. Oh my God. And now when things like January, we had a big issue with deliverability again. And I was like, you know what? We do this. This is something we've just already solved 3 times. Like, it's not a big deal. Let's just look at the problem, figure it out. Um, Something you guys stressed or Charlie stressed was identifying, like spending 90% of the time identifying the problem. Another thing we do, very, uh, another like mental model we use, I guess, what you would say. But yeah.
Yeah. Love it. William, 12 months ago, when you had your sales call with Jack, Jack would have asked you an infamous question that is within the game of sales. It's a classic question that a lot of people like yourself may have forgotten, but it's a very major question. He would have asked you, William, if you were to achieve this, what would your life look like? So now you went, well, let's circle back 12 months ago, right? You moved back with the family, you were living out in the garage, you were doing your thing, ground zero. 12 months later, you're at 40K per month. You would have told Jack 12 months ago, how would your life look if you hit XYZ? Now we're here 12 months later. Talk to me. What did you say to Jack, firstly, in terms of, how life would look if you were to hit your goals? And number two, how does life look now that we're here?
I mean, I'd say it's right what I said, like, which is pretty amazing. Or like, it's pretty cool. I think I told him to, I can't remember exactly what I told him, but a couple, like the short-term goal is, hey man, like, I just want to be able to live. I just want to live off my business and not have to, like, I just want to be able to support myself full time, be able to like actually live in a city like Tampa where I am now, paying rent and not have to worry about, you know, being homeless with my business. So that was solved. That was solved pretty quickly. And then the second thing was just a big thing for me is freedom. Like, I'm pretty sure I told Jack I want to like travel and not have to like, I don't, I really, I've spent time in the corporate world, not really for me. Or not, I just didn't really like it. So I was like, hey, I want to, be able to live on my own. I want to be able to make enough money and like stack enough money, which I'm doing right now, just stowing it away so I don't ever have to go back to that corporate world, even if something did go wrong. Um, and then also I was like, I want to be able to like have free time to travel. And in October, we weren't even doing that well in October yet, but we took a trip to Rio de Janeiro and for a full week. And I was like, I work like an hour a day, maybe. I didn't even have to. I just kind of was like checking in on stuff. And that was great. That was like really cool, even though we weren't quite where we wanted to be yet. Now it's like we just booked a trip to Asia, um, booked a trip to Medellin, coming up. So,
Nice.
and I know like as long as we keep doing what we're doing, like I'll be able to go on those trips and not have to do a thing. So that's like the reason I joined, and it's starting to it. I had total unrealistic expectations. I was like, oh, we're gonna like just hit 10K a month, and I'm just gonna like travel the world and stuff like that. But you realize you're like, first of all, 10K a month, like you probably need you want to be making more money than that usually, or at least I did. And then you also like you need to make sure you don't get complacent and just like hit a milestone and then just go travel for 3 weeks and just forget the business exists. So, but now it's starting to, it's pretty cool because, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing, man. Yeah. Always like asking that question, especially because, like I said, it's I asked Saxon yesterday, and he's like, "Man, I haven't thought of that." And it's so easy to forget when you're on the
Mhm.
sales call. You listed out what you wanted from the program. You know what was your
Yeah.
motivation and whatnot. And now you're here. It's always nice to reflect. And yeah, I'm super happy for you, man.
Thank
Just
you.
and I know you briefly touched on it, man, but like you can re sort of what's the word? You can re-amplify it because I always like asking this. How does it feel, William, to have this like autonomy and freedom that you have now, where you grinded it out for 12 months, you had a goal, you've had the vision in your mind where it's like, man, this is what I want, this is what I want, etc., etc. It's now finally a reality. How does that feel that it's here finally?
It's pretty awesome. I can't lie, because you get so, and I feel like I haven't fully reflected on it. I feel like I kind of did the other day, honestly, at the pool. I was just kind of sitting there. I was like, dang, like, because after we hit that milestone, that was a big milestone, hitting the 40. Like, that was definitely, like, I had that written down for a while. That was like a big, because when we hit like 20, 30, I was like, yeah, this is great. We're growing, but like, this isn't like the real goal, big goal yet, or one of the big goals. Um, so yeah, I guess I haven't really come to terms with it yet or really reflect on it too much, but it's awesome. But I also know another thing the program teaches, and something I learned when I hit 20K a month, I made this mistake, was like you gotta just you gotta keep pushing it forward though. Even if like you're able to, like right now I can work less and still push it forward, which is awesome. I don't have to like grind 60 hours a week. But I know, like, don't get complacent. Like we're gonna try to hit 50 next month, 50 this month. So
Yeah.
but it is awesome for sure.
Yeah, love it. William, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it you that did you get complacent and then your revenue dipped and then you
Yeah,
brought
I did.
and you made a post about it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah.
I got complacent right around October, and yeah, and then I like woke up. I was like, damn,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
am I doing?
Talk to me about that, man, because that'd be good for the people watching, like, because you were obviously on a high, you're doing so
Mhm.
well, but then you took your foot off the gas. Remind me of what happened because I remember the post, but I can't remember like the specifics of how much it dropped by and whatnot. What I do remember is, again, it comes back to the mindset part of things. You had no panic in the post. You literally said, "I'm just gonna get cracking and get back to where I was, easy," and you
Mhm.
done that. So yeah, talk to
Mhm.
me about that, man.
Yeah, I definitely took my foot off the gas around October of this year. The reason why, I don't really know. I think I just moved. I moved back to Florida recently, and I think I really had abused my social life for like a year. Like I really like didn't do much anything socially for like a whole year, and it started to kind of eat at me. And I was finally like, oh, screw this. Like I need to like have a social life. So I think I kind of went the opposite direction a little bit too much
Hmm.
for like a month. And another thing is I stopped joining any EasyGrow calls. I just wasn't like involved with the program at all. Um, and when you're not talking to people every day or every week at least that are doing it and they all have that goal, it's like it's easy to kind of stray off. And then I kind of hit one day. I looked at the bank and I was like, this is not where I want to be. I started getting really stressed, and I was like, dang, I got to get focused again. And also another thing too is I would like to, I think I joined a call and talked to someone in the program who joined similar to where I was the similar time. I think it was Josh Dueck, and he hit
Oh,
like,
shout out to Josh. Yeah, shout
yeah,
out to
he
Josh.
hit like 80K or 90K.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, dude, that's insane. And I was like, dang, we're sitting like right around 18. We've been stuck here. And I need to get back in the game and really start focusing again. So that's another thing. It's like the community, it rubs off on you. Like you have people that you join with at the same similar time, and they kind of share where they are and where they're going. It inspires you and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um but yeah, we bounced back pretty nicely. It took about a month or two, but
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember that post vividly. It's like I had no worry in my mind because I spoke with you. I knew you were gonna get back to it, man. So yeah, love it. And yeah, shout out to Josh as well. Josh is actually part of the mastermind, man. So that's where we'll hopefully see
mm,
you after this. So yeah, man. William, you're obviously one of the you know, long-serving clients where, you've finished up your full 12 months. Um, as we kind of wrap up the interview, actually before you wrap up the interview, you 12 months, we've helped you go from 0 to 40K now. What's your next goal, man? What's the big sort of North Star that you want to hit?
83. Okay. So
83.
a million a year run
Yeah,
rate.
yeah, yeah.
Our
Sweet.
goal.
Love it. And then in terms of team structure, do you have any goals for that, or do you want to keep it nice and lean?
I want to keep it pretty lean. I think to get to 80, we would probably need at least 8. So right now we have 6. We'd need to hire a couple more. I've been really lucky with my team. My team's amazing. Like that's a huge part. Like everyone has a great attitude. Everyone works super hard. So that's been awesome. So just add a couple more A players, and
Yeah.
that's probably what I would probably 8. I think we could get there with 8 people.
Yeah, I love it. Well, keep me posted, man. I know this is your William's time with our program is up, but if he ever did return, then potentially a part three if he keeps on going, and if he's not too busy for me, that'd be good to see. So, William,
Well,
as
the
we
cool
wrap up,
thing is the better you do, the less busy you are. Like it'd
yeah,
be
I was gonna
harder,
say,
like it's like you're more busy in the early crappy days. Now you're still busy, but it's like you have more freedom of choice. It's not like, you
yeah.
know, um, but anyway.
Yeah, no, that's true. That means if to anyone that's just heard William, to any clients out there, if you're too busy for me, it's out of choice. You're choosing
Yeah.
to be too busy. But well said, man. Well said. So William, 12 months, you've wrapped it up. What would you say to clients in the program in terms of some of the best pieces of advice you can give after working with us for 12 months? Like, what are some of the gems you can give them
People already in the program.
already in the program? Yeah.
Just number one is just take action. It sounds super cliche, but I mean, just do. I
Just do
mean,
it.
y'all have the roadmap. It's just like it's like how do we do it, and the action, and you already have by buying the program. There's no like you have what it takes. You have all the information. All you have to do is take action. So
Yeah.
I know that's super cheesy, but no,
No,
that's
no, it's facts because sometimes there could be major analysis paralysis,
yeah.
especially with our program because there's so much to go
Mhm.
through. And
Yeah,
then
for sure.
sometimes it's like I need to tell clients, so we need to tell clients, other coaches
Mhm.
need to say, dude, you're just overthinking it. Just pick up the
Right,
phone, dial, get them on
right.
the call, get the cash, and crack on. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, to people that are watching this that are active clients, I think William is one of the best examples because he bloody hit like 10K in the first month. He literally just took action. And there's a lot of you watching right now that are probably in the program, but you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Um, so yeah, reassess what you're actually working on and make sure what you're working on is actually worthwhile and just actually do it. So yeah, killer stuff, man. And then for people that have yet to join the program, William, what would you say to them from your 12 months working with us in terms of your experience and all that good stuff? Almost as if you're speaking to yourself, right? Prior to you joining the program.
Real quick, I wanted to add one more thing to the your
Yeah, yeah,
previous
go for it.
question. I
Go
would
for it, man.
say something that's helped me a ton too is delegate stuff that you
Hmm.
don't need to be doing. That's been a huge thing. Because the second I delegated cold calling, we hit 40. Because that was something I was spending like all day
Love it.
on. So that's another big piece of advice. Is just you got. I mean, EasyGrow gives you a lot of the SOPs, so just get rid
Yeah,
of that stuff.
yeah.
As soon as
That
you can afford it.
that's major as well because sometimes, and I'm sure you saw this, it's hard to let go of.
Yeah,
You
you
almost
got to just
you,
let go.
you almost treat that task like it's your own baby or something
Yeah,
because you're so good at it
it's
and what.
really
But it's
dumb
like,
though.
yeah,
It's really
exactly. It's
dumb.
it's not a baby. You've got to let it
Yeah,
go in order for you to
yeah.
grow, pretty much.
And you'd be shocked at how well other people perform it. Like
Yeah,
almost everything I've offloaded to my team now, like you get the right people in, I mean, they've done a better job at it than I have in a lot of
yeah,
instances. So
yeah. You start questioning yourself, like, man, what am I doing?
yeah, for sure.
That's it. That's it, man. So yeah, killer advice, William. And yeah, man, for the people that, like I mentioned, they're yet to join the
Mhm.
program, what do you say to them?
watch the case study. Like, it's
Yeah.
so obvious. Like, I mean, I think I said this in the first interview. It's like, I mean, how much more convincing do you need? It's like just that because that's what got me. It was like, uh, I mean, yeah, it's a big investment, but I mean, or it can't. I mean, depending on what your situation is, but it's like, I mean, if you're serious about it, then do it. If you're serious about getting to where you want to go, if it's like a hobby or not that important to you, then maybe not. But um, because like the only thing preventing you from getting there is your ability to take action, your beliefs, and then the roadmap. I would say, and EasyGrow gives you the roadmap, and then changes your beliefs or like teaches you how to change your beliefs, and then all you have to do is take action. So if you're serious about
Yeah.
it, like it obviously works. Like I don't. There's 1,000 case studies next to me, I'm sure, that are ace hit 80K. Like it's very clear. And
Yeah.
that's what really pushed me over the line. So
Yeah, amazing, amazing stuff. And yeah, to people watching this, we've actually now crossed, I say crossed, but we've basically got 100 interviews. So, Jay,
yeah,
if you're not,
I'm surprised it's not more, but that's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's hard to get a hold of you guys because you're busy winning and too busy for some of these calls. But no, jokes aside, man, yeah, there's a lot of winners in the group and a lot of different verticals that we've helped. So for people watching this right now, as William said, if you have like reservations with regards to what we do and whether it can work with you, um, we've got thousands of screenshots. We've got a ton of like, mini recorded video testimonials, the 30-second ones, but we've got 100 long form client interviews. Okay, so please do check those out specifically, because that will give you a great understanding of other people's situations and how we can help and all that good stuff. So I don't know how many I'm on because I've done a fair amount. So if you can put up with my
Mhm.
voice any longer, be sure to check those out. But yeah, man, William, where can people find you if they wanted to keep up with your journey, man?
I have a YouTube channel.
Hmm.
This is one thing I feel like I've not been the best at is posting. I'm trying to make it a priority, but my Instagram is william.mrussell, Mrussell. And then my YouTube is at William dash Russell, Russell dash Nerif, our company name. It's Nerife.
Yeah, sweet.
But as of now, there's not much on there.
Sweet, all good, man. For people watching this, I'm going to post William's links in the description below, so be sure to check that out and keep up with his journey. And then, yeah, we'll see what William gets up to in a year's time from now. Hopefully, get a part three locked in. But yeah, hopefully, you guys found this one valuable. I'm gonna intro my famous outro now, which people are probably sick and tired of hearing. And William, you probably remember it from the last time we done it. But yeah, for those of you that are watching this right now, but you may have been swayed by the fancy Instagram lifestyle that you see nowadays, where it's usually rented cars, rented Ferraris, rented Rolexes, rented sunlight, all these people promising you instant success within 7 days and all that good stuff. I'm here to tell you this program is not that. Unfortunately, we can't guarantee you $1 million or all these Ferraris and stuff within 7 days. So if you're expecting a get rich quick scheme, unfortunately, this is not it. If you do find that magic pill that gives you massive success in 7 days, send it my way. I say that at the end of every interview. I'm being dead serious. If you find one that works, send it my way. However, if you are someone that is willing to put in the work and follow a proven framework to help you to get to where you need to get to, and you're willing to take action, ask questions, seek advice, and put in the work, just like William has, then feel free to book a call with us because we more than likely can help depending on what your business is. If you need further reassurance before booking a call, that's perfectly fine. Like I said, I recommend checking out all of the other client interviews that we have in place. We've got 100 now, and we're going to keep on getting more of those, okay? So, yeah, hopefully you found this one valuable. And other than that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.